In a world racing toward a quantum future, one truth is becoming clear. The digital defenses we rely on today won't survive the challenges of tomorrow. As quantum computing edges closer to reality, it threatens to dismantle traditional encryption, exposing our most sensitive data to unprecedented risks. QNu Labs embraces a proactively quantum ethos, anticipating threats and innovating solutions that secure the digital landscape today, long before quantum adversaries emerge. Backed by the visionary National Quantum Mission, spearheaded by the Honorable Prime Minister and aligned with transformative initiatives such as Make in India and Digital India, QNu Labs is more than just an Indian success story. It is made in India, but designed, developed and deployed for the world.
The idea of QNu Labs emerged in 2016 when our Honorable Prime Minister actually gave an idea about India moving from a cash-based economy to a digital economy. And as the founders, we felt that digital resilience or digital trust is very important for a digital India. And when we did some research and looked at some of the data, we felt that digital resilience was largely around detection and response, which was it's about looking for cures for the current issues, rather than looking for future emerging threats, which was very important. And that is where we felt an opportunity for India and for QNu Labs, saying that if we can bring a technology which can help India anticipate the future emerging threats, and we can find solutions for that, then we can actually create a foundation for a very strong digital resilience in India. Historically, India has been using the foreign-made software and hardware products for cybersecurity. It has served our purpose, but we could always be reliant and dependent on a foreign technology, and which could have very potential issues for future prospects of India, especially in the changing geopolitical scenarios, and also for the strategic sectors, right? Like defense, critical infrastructure. That is where QNu Labs, actually technology came into being, where we used our first adoption of our technology was for India's critical infrastructure and strategic sectors like defense, armed forces. We helped India build that technology and demonstrate for it the first time that indigenous technology can be actually deployed for protecting our national interest and the critical infrastructure. So quantum computers are becoming a very big threat for the world, and largely to the encryption. Today, everything we do, from e-commerce, phone banking, communication, emails, everything is protected through encryption. And this encryption is now under threat from quantum computers, right? So idea was that how do we protect our data from this impending threat that is coming? So of course, quantum computers are still few years away, but just because the data that quantum computers will be able to break is of highly confidential, and the data that have a long shelf life, the data that will be relevant even after 10 years, 15 years. So what is happening is some of the state-sponsored hackers and the very well-equipped hackers who are in the business of hacking, they are actually harvesting the critical data and storing it, so that tomorrow when they get the access, or maybe a couple of years later when they get access to quantum computers, they will break the encryption of the data, they will decrypt the data, they will get all the secrets, and they will use that secret against the enterprises. And that's the reason it is very important that without waiting for quantum computers to come, the Indian country like India has already started the initiative of adopting and integrating this technology into the existing infrastructure. So journey for clients start actually from the point where we have to actually go to them and evangelize with them and make them aware of the threats. Because what has happened is that the encryption that the people have been using from the last 2 decades, that has been working for them. And now we are going and telling them that, hey, the encryption that you trusted for last 2 decades is no more trustworthy, and you have to transition to a new security. So it's a very big change. right, for people. So it requires a lot of evangelization, a lot of sessions to make them aware of this potential threat and what type of technology has come up. I think that takes a lot of our time. I think that's the first most important step. Once enterprises are able to get that to point, then obviously the next question comes up is, okay, what is the best way for us to transition, right? And that is where what we start with, working closely with the enterprises to identify what are the different crypto assets they have. A lot of enterprises do not even aware that what type of crypto assets they have. So we call it a discovery process, where we go with them, sit with them, do some sort of a discovery and say, hey, you are using these many crypto assets, right? And what are the vulnerabilities and which of these assets are not quantum safe? Once that is done, then we identify a process that which are the areas where they would like to prioritize to implement this. Then based on that, then we bring out the use case, right? A typical use case, okay, you want to protect your data centers, you want to protect your applications and so on. And then what we do is a sort of a proof of concept, because it's such a new technology that nobody's going to believe till they see it. And that is where we do a sort of a demo and a demonstration and a proof of concept. Once that proof of concept is done and they understand the technology, how easy it is to deploy and the value proposition of the technology, and that is where then the implementation starts. So what happens is that in today's technology, encryption, which has worked for last 2 decades and so on, it is largely based on mathematics. Now, this mathematics is a hard problem to solve by current computers. So current computers cannot break that key, right? Because the mathematics is difficult. But the quantum computers, the new computers that are coming up, are designed very differently. They have the power to break this encryption key to a matter of few seconds. So thus they are not future safe. So what we did, we built a technology which is twofold technology, two parts of this technology. First part is that, okay, let's not use mathematics, let's use physics. So we use quantum physics, where the keys are generated using properties of light. And now once you use the properties of light to generate a key, hackers can never break it, right? That is where the future safe, or we call it unhackable encryption. Second aspect is, which is a software-based solution. But when we go to the software, that is based on the mathematics again, but here we use more advanced mathematics. The mathematics that theoretically can be broken, but is still very hard to be broken in the near future. That's the reason we call it quantum resistant.
Quantum threats don't just target enterprises. They strike at the core of national infrastructure. From securing military communications to protecting SEBI-regulated financial systems and fortifying 5G networks, QNu Labs delivers proactive quantum security where it matters most. Its solutions are industry agnostic yet purpose-built for defense, telecom, BFSI, healthcare, PSUs and critical enterprises, ensuring resilience across sectors. Recognized by the Ministry of Defense, NASSCOM, DSCI and the Aegis Graham Bell Award, QNu Labs exemplifies India's leadership in quantum security.
So we have a very rich portfolio. We started with products. So we have 3 flagship products. We call it Quantum Random Number Generator, branded as Tropos, which generates keys from very different key material, which cannot be hacked. Then we have built another product called Quantum Key Distribution with the brand name of Armos. What it does is it actually provides you a pair of keys, encryption keys, which again cannot be hacked by quantum computers. And then third product that we have done is called Quantum Safe HSM, Hardware Security Module. And now that product makes sure that all the encryption keys that we have built, they are secured securely, right? And nobody is able to access and get into those keys. So these are the 3 products that we took to the market initially. And then from there, we actually build solutions, because enterprises, when we get to the enterprise market, they buy solutions. So we have built a solution around it, like example, quantum safe VPN solution or a Connect service. We built a quantum safe vaults. We have built quantum safe messaging solutions. So we have built solutions the customer can consume it as a service. And then we built a platform called Q Shield, Now this platform is an enterprise platform which can be deployed, it can be used on cloud or it can be used on-prem. This platform can be used by enterprises and as a very easy way to consume services. National Quantum Mission, right, actually announced an investment in QNu Labs as part of the Series A. So that was a significant milestone, again, first of its kind in India, where government has put public money into a private company and taken a stake in the company, right? So it was not a grant, it was an equity, right? And they led the Series A round. Again, this is a great milestone for us. So QNu Labs' vision has been born in India, but built for the world. So we always wanted to be a company where we're not only building indigenous technology and deploying that for India, but we wanted to show to the world that India's prowess in the deep tech technology, and we can build technology and product that world will use and benefit. So in the context of the same vision, we actually, the two milestones a very important milestone we achieved by setting up a US entity last year, where we have now US entity in United States. And then we also did an Australian entity in Sydney for us to achieve the global presence. If you are doing the right things and we are building the right things for the country, then country will support and will help in every possible manner.
The digital world stands at a crossroads. As cyber threats grow and quantum computing approaches, the time to act is now. QNu Labs is leading the charge, spearheading India's quantum revolution and delivering next-gen security to enterprises across the globe. This isn't just preparation, it's transformation. With cutting-edge proactive quantum technologies, QNu Labs is shaping a tomorrow where security isn't just stronger, it's unbreakable. Welcome to the quantum secure future. QNu Labs, tomorrow's quantum security today.